Yes, alright, my peace. Welcome back. This is episode 2 of uh, whatever this is at the moment. Just kind of wanted to give a kind of update with what's going on as this camera tries to focus. Yeah, it's been a little minute since I've actually kind of got back to doing anything. It's kind of really struggling to focus. It's crazy. Actually, kind of like it. But yeah, so it's been a little minute since I made my last video. I think my last video was about a month ago. a month ago. But I've done a little bit, but I've made some adjustments. So this is kind of what this kind of video is all about. So yeah, so carrying on from week 1. One of the main things I kind of done was a lot of like admin work around this Notion page and just kind of doing some background stuff. So one of the kind of key tasks this week was getting my service design resume, just a current 1.0 version here for everyone to kind of see. So what I recently applied for this. I applied for this role, service designer at the Ministry of. What was it? Ministry. Basically, it's a civil service job, and within that civil service job, I got an email, and within that email, it kind of gave my resume a score. It was like 1.5 out of 5, and I was like, it's kind of low, no? You know what I mean? So basically I was like, if I'm trying to get into public service, I'll speak about that more. Like, my resume kind of needs to be a lot better. So I've made some improvements and got it up to like a 2.5. It's still not where it needs to be, and I know why it isn't where it needs to be. And part of what I'm doing now is hoping to get there. Just one second. Yeah, part of what I'm doing now is actually just preparing to actually get there. So this is what my current resume is: service designer, UX strategist with experience across digital products, operational environments, and multi-stakeholder service context, specializing in complex problem solving, uncovering needs, shaping practical design solutions grounded in evidence and real world constraints. Cool. 4+ years, probably even a lot more, to be honest with you. I kind of underplay it here. Strategy, research, UI, operational customer service, balanced perspective that supports both UX and service delivery. My approach is structured thinking, clarity, and thoughtful problem solving. Cool, no problem. I think within this kind of professional summary, it can be improved a lot more. That's fine. So, work experience, strategic design partner. So in my current role, what I'm doing right now is, a CSR team lead, which is okay. Of course, had the career intermission, service designer at John Lewis, and design mentor, UX designer, UX consultant, content designer, UI designer. Oh, that needs changing. Cool. UX designer, and certifications and certificates and whatnot, toolkits and whatnot, and everything in between. Yeah, so that's kind of the resume. It's good, but not good enough in terms of a scoring criteria that gets me to 3, at minimum 3, because I think if you get a minimum 3, you're kind of able to get in the door a little easier. But yeah, so that's the resume. That was one of kind of, again, just a 1.0 version, just so I can just start applying and just seeing what's going on, whether my resume gets seen or gets used or whatnot. So there was a job I applied for recently at Co-op Bank, not Co-op Bank, but just Co-op in general. And I was doing my resume, and after I finished this resume, the service design resume, the new one, the the job the job listing was expired. I was like thinking, man, I got time. Like it just come out like 6 days ago, and it's like, damn, already it's closed. That's crazy. That's crazy. And it's a junior IT service designer. That would be like perfect. You know what I mean? That would be perfect for me right now. But yeah, but the main reason kind of why there's a bit of delay is kind of just this learning plan. So I did have a kind of first draft that I did with ChatGPT, which is okay. But as you know, we're trying to go for like, yeah. So again, with this, with our strategic outcome, have mastery over systems thinking, policy, governance, delivery systems, process a portfolio of systemic design artifacts tied to public sector complexity, be positioned for roles in GovTech, large transformation organizations. That's kind of where we're kind of trying to land. So with the learning plan, at least. So part of this was kind of which is kind of adapting for like what we're trying to go for in terms of the learning content. So this learning plan, the service architect learning plan, is tied to the systems thinking framework that the government uses within their design activity. So phase one, foundations, applied system architecture, strategy, futures, and evaluation, and some optional modules. So as you can see, you know, it's more so grounded in actual real service design and transformation rather less so than architecture as what it once did. So at the moment I'm actually on week 5 or 6, so that's why kind of these videos and the content that I'm putting out at the moment is kind of everywhere because I'm ahead in terms of the timeline you see, but because I've kind of had this kind of reset, if you will, I'm kind of like starting, not again, but like I'm just kind of going over. I'm just going over a lot of the old stuff with the new lens that I've applied with kind of the framing of what I'm trying to do and where I'm trying to go. So it's 26 weeks, which actually doesn't really sound, which sounds a long time, but not really. I'm already on week 5 and 6. I already have quite a bit of stuff here, but there is kind of a lot more things to do with regards to like outputs, looking at specific things within the toolkit, what kind of outputs that I need to do to help with, to aid within the learning, and then showcase that and talk about it here and whatnot. So that is the learning plan. Oh, sorry, I don't know why I was doing that. Yeah, so I did a few things. One of this thing is that I did this week. Shout out Hangzhou for this. He had like this like framework within what on his OnlyFans website. I was like, that's kind of cool. So I went through this activity myself and just kind of helped me frame the direction of what I need to do and where I need to go, kind of things that I need to focus on, or what I think would need to focus on based on what's going on. So yeah, how it works. Every decision in cascades is kind of have an impact. Black boxes just mean I'm not choosing. Yellow boxes may consider, and pink is the chosen option. So where do I want to work? Main thing really and truly is I want to work in government / public services, corporations, in industries such as healthcare, finance, B2B, B2C. I've said it doesn't really matter about kind of B2B, B2C, because in service design that is just so irrelevant. You're catering to various touch points and levels of kind of interaction, so you're gonna naturally see both parties at play at the same time. Within tech and legacy systems, like I said, service design, is more prominent within those fields, within those industries. So it kind of makes more sense to um, work within what's already existing. So Q2, question two: what skills do I need to learn in these spaces? Um, the key here is visual design. I feel as if, again, always visual design is something that needs to get improved. I'm okay, but again, there's a lot that I can do to aid with where I'm trying to go. Working with data. So going back to kind of my resume, and within that scoring criteria, I realized that the reason why I didn't have as high of a score as I would like is because I don't have a metric tied to output. I don't have a metric tied to deliverable. What actually happened there, or I do have it, but it's not. It's not like every role has it. Every role has every role, every project has this. Every role has something that I can state. Oh, I increased operational efficiency by blah blah blah. I improved MPS by blah blah blah. I improved net revenue by blah blah blah. I don't have that because at the time, never really, not that I didn't care, but it's just something that no one really told you about until, a lot recently, where like you documenting what you're doing every day, just so you have evidence of, hey, this is what I did, this is what happened. Now in interviews, you're able to then talk about it because now you actually remember what you did. And for a lot of us designers that have been doing this for a little while, that a lot of decisions you look back at, you don't even know because there's no reference. There's not much reference unless you did a case study or something else. But yeah, then the service thinking, systems thinking. As you know, that's the whole premise of service architecture, systems thinking, transformation, service design, and also service design. So where can I quickly and reliably get better? Nielsen Norman Group, of course, YouTube, government.uk/design. Because like I said, that's where we're trying to go to. So these are the frameworks that we kind of need to design within. And question four: how do I effectively showcase my skills in these areas to hiring managers? Really and truly, just case study. That's really all you need. It's just one solid case study. Because I remember speaking to like this recruiter back in 2023, and I was like, so I was learning. I was learning. No, 2022. I was learning at the time service design with Interaction Design Foundation. So I was going through their service design, how to design integrated service experiences. If I can remember, that's the full title. It's a really good course. It's a really good introductory course into service design. And I was like, for me, it was like, at the time, it was like, oh, this is kind of like the missing link that I've been looking for. Like, I've been interested in email design and omni-channel experiences, but I never knew what that meant. You know what I mean? It's, no, not just digital experiences, but offline. What does that look like? And all these different things that I had bits and pieces of experience in from past projects or just doing it on my own, to now being taught, oh, this is actual job. Like service design is actual job. So that's what I was like, wow, this is kind of like where it's at for me. But yeah, so that's kind of really it in terms of kind of my decision tree of kind of the direction of where I'm trying to go and where I'm trying to land. I'm pretty excited about this. I've never actually done something like this in a like a decision tree. But just having direction of like where you're actually going, and just something that's in a diagram just breaks everything down, and it's something that I can just go back to. If you do want to copy this, please do. It'll be in the description. Yeah, it'll be in the description. But yeah, and then going back to the one of the things I did this week was kind of an internal doc review. So as you know, service design is not just service design and transformation is looking at what the current system what the current system is doing, and a part of this process is kind of looking at any type of references that they already have. So what this is just, again, a review of, hey, what current documentation, what are we doing, is it good, is it bad, why not? So today I recorded a Loom video. Yeah, see, it's pretty much me. But yeah, just a Loom video, just detailing kind of a bit of what's going on, issues that kind of I see within this document. Walk through, lacking, clear end-to-end journey, all these different things that, the document screams, all these problematic issues, but not massive issues, but it's just something that you just need to review. And by reviewing it, you're able to assess what's going on. Is it working? Is it not? And it's something that you can also use as a metric later on. It's like, okay, you have this internal documentation, but do people even know about it? So that's something that we can also track within connecting the usability testing, surveys, all these different things that kind of need occurring later on. But yeah, that's kind of it, really. I've still not done my manifesto yet, and I don't think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it, really. There isn't much else for this week, at least. But I just want to talk about something. Yeah, there's not much else, really and truly. Yeah, peace. Thanks for watching. Take care.